Hey, good evening, everyone, that's here in person. I believe we don't have anybody, joining us via Zoom this evening. But Zoom remains an option to listen to our meetings if you would like to choose that in the future. I wanted to indicate that this will be the, May legislative meeting for the Quaker Valley School Board. We have a couple exciting, events this evening where we have the Superintendent Citizenship Awards as well as a presentation from the Swickley Public Library that we front-loaded to the beginning of our meeting. And at this time, I would like to please ask the Board Secretary, Ms. DeAngelis, to please call the roll.
Thank you, Mr. Kuzma. Good evening, everyone. Roll call will begin with Mr. Barnes,
Here.
Ms. Blackburn, Ms. Dobler. Here. Mr. Floro.
Here.
Ms. Halkowski. Here. Mr. Kuzma,
Here.
Mr. Nash,
Here.
Ms. Soderstrom.
Here.
Mr. Waters. 7 present.
Okay, thank you. There being a quorum present, I'll call this meeting to order. Quaker Valley School Board holds regularly scheduled work sessions for the purpose of examining proposals and recommendations made by the staff, public, legal counsel, and the board. These proposals and recommendations are normally accompanied by background material, presentations, and/or rationale. This process assures a thorough review of all items prior to being placed on the legislative agenda. The public is encouraged to attend these in-person work sessions. A one-way Zoom feed will be provided as a courtesy for community members who wish to listen to these meetings. Pre-recorded and slide presentations will also be made available during the meeting and posted afterward. Residents who wish to address the board are asked to attend the meeting in person. Minutes from the most recent work sessions are available at legislative meetings. All minutes are in draft form until they are approved by the Board of School Directors. Minutes are available on our website, www.qvsd.org. The Special Committee for Public Relations and Protocol report will follow the superintendent's report, followed by visitor participation this evening due to the student awards. Our regular order of business will then begin with approval of minutes. The board met in executive session on May 17th to discuss legal and personnel issues. So at this time, I'd like to open the floor to Dr. Andreyko to deliver her superintendent's report and to confer the awards on the honorees.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm Dr. Tammy Andreyko and the superintendent. Very excited to have you all here. This is truly, I think, for all of us, one of our most favorite evenings to really take a look at the year as a whole as we bring it to an end, but then also the hard work and dedication of our students who make Quaker Valley what it is. So this evening, we have some special things to say about these special kids, and also the opportunity to say thank you to some people who have served us all year long in a wonderful capacity on our board. Very, very excited to do that. So I'm going to give you a demonstration of what we're going to do when we call your name. So Mrs. Dietz, our Director of Communications, and Mr. Kuzma, if you want to come with me.
Yes.
We are going to get started when we share your information that is so wonderfully written by your principals and teachers. You'll have an opportunity to come up here and we'll take your, would you like us in front of the table or would you like us in front of the table? So we're going to stand in front of the table, shake hands, and then students, if you would like to, you are welcome to walk around the ring. It's a little tight, but you're going to give everybody a little elbow, fist pump, and we'll go around. You'll have an opportunity to say hi to each of the board members. And then also members of our administration, we would love for you to say hi to us and, let us know just what kind of student you are and why you're so special to Quaker Valley. So thank you. So at this time, I'm going to introduce Mrs. Dietz, and she's going to help us with the awards. And you'll call up the first name. I'll get the information. I'll get the bags ready.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Our first award this evening is going to go to Edworth Elementary's Jose Pogasangre. This year's recipient of the 2023 Superintendent Citizenship Award from Edgeworth Elementary is fifth grader Jose Pocasangre. Jose is an exemplary student, classmate, and member of the community. He is a straight A student who is not only exceptional academically, but also at the extracurricular activities he participates in, both inside and outside of the school day. Jose participates in orchestra and is a talented violin player. He also earned one of the lead roles in this year's fifth grade production of Seussical, the musical. In addition, Jose qualified for the CalcuSolve academic math competition held at Duquesne University and was one of the top scorers in the Math Olympiad competition. He volunteered as an anchor for the school-wide morning announcements and was an ambassador for the First Grade Buddies program, where he would regularly read to first grade students. Outside of the school day, Jose plays hockey and is an active member of his church. Jose was also a member of this year's Battle of the Books run by the Sewickley Public Library. Jose's teachers describe him as kind, organized, honest, and reliable. He always gives his best effort to anything he does, regardless of the task. His work ethic, along with his positive attitude and kindness, make him more than deserving of the Superintendent's Citizenship Award. As Jose makes his way around, we'll go ahead and queue up our next winner. Our second winner is from Osborne Elementary. Please welcome Logan Manu. Logan is one of the kindest, most thoughtful, helpful students with whom we have had the pleasure of working. He is a competitive swimmer who is involved in a USA swimming program through the PEAQ swimming, and he plays soccer after school. Logan qualified to represent the fifth grade to participate in many academic competitions, including the History Bowl, CalcuSolve, and the STEM Design Challenge, where his team placed third in the region, largely due to the care he took in completing a thorough, accurate blueprint of his team's design. He was also one of the top scorers in the grade level for Math Olympiad competition. Logan always volunteers to help others in need and leads by example. He is a team player through and through and is overall a model citizen as well as a wonderful human being. Congratulations, Logan. Our next winner is from the middle school, and if Dr. Mooney would like to join us up front. Our middle school winner of the Superintendent Citizenship Award is Rose Pocasangre. Rose Pocasangre exemplifies all that it means to be an outstanding student. Her teachers describe her as conscientious, hardworking, inquisitive, humble, and incredibly kind. Rose's success in compacted and honors level classes, as well as her performing arts and related arts classes, is a testament to her drive and love of learning. Her work ethic is superb, regardless of the content. Rose has made many meaningful contributions to her school community during her time at Quaker Valley Middle School. She has volunteered to assist the Student Council's various fundraising efforts, spending her lunch period selling Valentine's Day candygrams and pie the teacher tickets. Rose has also volunteered on the weekends at QV's track and field clinics for sixth grade and elementary age students. During these clinics, Rose provides instruction to younger students, supervises drills, leads warm-ups and stretches, provides encouragement, and serves as an exemplar student athlete and mentor. Her presence is valued by the student participants as well as the coaches. Rose is also a highly accomplished and talented musician. She earned the leading role in both Matilda Jr. as Matilda and Frozen Jr. as Elsa in 7th and 8th grade, respectively. Prior to leading her peers on stage, Rose served as a critical member of the stage crew during her 6th grade year. As a member of the middle school chorus, vocal ensemble, and orchestra, Rose is no stranger to performing and serving as a positive role model and leader. She has performed many solos over the years at various concerts, attended PMEA Junior High District Chorus 2 years in a row, and has volunteered to perform at the middle school's annual For the Love of Music event on numerous occasions. The faculty, staff, and administration congratulate Rose on an exceptional middle school career. Our final winner of the Superintendent Citizenship Award is from the high school and is senior Isabella Morano. Izzy is a student that shows innate leadership. Throughout all her administrative roles in several clubs and organizations, Izzy consistently rises to the top as a student who can productively engage both peers and professionals. The relationship she has built throughout her 4 years at Quaker Valley High School speaks to her passion and interest in maximizing her opportunities and connecting with those around her. Izzy's strive for excellence has resulted in a vast variety of awards and accolades, including the Sportsmanship Award for lacrosse, captain of the tennis team, 18 under 18 for junior achievement, the Society of Women's Engineers, acceptance into the School of the New York Times Summer Academy, the Bryn Mawr Book Award, and the winner of the most innovative and forward-thinking business model. Izzy also maintains part-time employment, is a certified lifeguard, a third-degree black belt, volunteers and holds leadership roles in Quaker Valley High School Student Council and Key Club. As the founder and co-creator of Eco Assemble, Izzy educates kids about the importance of the environment through STEAM-based activity kits. Izzy will be attending Vanderbilt University in the fall. Congratulations.
You want to share with us what your plans are,
what
you plan to study?
Oh, sorry, I think like I was looking around. I'll be doing a double major in biomedical engineering and then business. So
We wish you absolutely the best. Congratulations. Thank you.
Hope I'm not stealing your thunder, Mr. Kuzma, but at this time, we're going to transition over to the Committee for Public Relations and Protocol. And we're going to award our graduating senior award. This year's graduating senior award goes to Graham Thompson. Graham's teachers describe Graham as respectful, diligent, and collaborative. He is the type of student that will advocate for his learning and create a positive environment for everyone in his classroom. Beyond his academic achievements, Graham has participated in student athletics, serves as a volunteer for kids before and after school programs, and holds part-time employment. His volunteer efforts for a local food pantry helped raise over $10,000. Graham gives his time to Key Club, Quaker Valley High School peer jury, student council, the tennis team, several soccer teams, his church, and he has spent many hours in an environmental science internship where he has monitored the health of the Little Swickley Creek watershed. Graham is a student who exemplifies our district's mission statement. His unyielding dedication, strong moral compass, intrinsic motivation, and brilliance of mind are only part of what Graham brings to the table. No matter what the task, Graham is diligent in his duties and industrious in his endeavors. He is truly a remarkable young man and one of Quaker Valley's finest students and role models. Graham will be attending the University of Pittsburgh in the fall.
I'm going to be studying general bio, and I'm probably going to double major with biomedical.
final recognitions this evening are familiar faces to our board members and to those who attend often. This evening, we would like to take a moment to recognize Emma Smith and Nikita Benson. I'm gonna say it wrong. Say it for me.
got it.
Benson Kadasami. I spelled it right on the first try, though. I might not have said it right, but I spelled it right on the first try. These young ladies have served as our board representatives this year, and they have done a wonderful job being advocates for things going on in the high school and keeping us abreast of all of the wonderful things happening there. So before we formally recognize them, I want to hand the floor over to Dr. Surlock, who is their liaison to the board.
All right, stand up.
Come on down.
I'll stand over there. So one of the true joys of my job is I get to work with the student reps to the board. And so what that entails basically is we think about what that month's report is going to be, what the subject is going to be, and we talk it over, and they send me a report, which I look at, send back, and we kind of work. This might surprise you, but high school students are not always the best at meeting deadlines and getting reports on time or following through. But these two are, and they probably don't think they are. They probably don't think they are because maybe I got it like the day before, but getting something the day before, much appreciated compared to some other student reps in the past. And so I am not allowed to have favorites as an educator, but there are some that we will always look at as memorable and fondly memorable. And these are two of the finest young ladies that I've had the pleasure to work with. And they were awesome here on the board. If you were at any of our meetings or listened online, they were always willing to give an opinion, participate, and speak on behalf of the student body at the high school, which is always something that is appreciated by the board because that's the reason they're here. They're here to be the voice of the students and not just to observe. And so they did that. Their reports were thorough, and above all else, and probably the thing that I would say about them is they didn't just want to be on the board. They wanted to do something in the high school that was also memorable and important. And they were dedicated to the health and well-being of their fellow classmates and led some wonderful programming regarding mental health this year at the high school. And anytime there was any other kind of issue, they weren't afraid to let us know about it or speak up and let us know what we could do better. And that's important for us because we need that sometimes. Sometimes we have blinders on. It's important for the students to tell us what we need to do to make things better. And they did that for us. And so it's just been an absolute pleasure to work with both of you. Congratulations, well deserved. And you can step on up and we'll get your awards.
Come on, Dr. Sturlock. Come on up.
I'll join it.
Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm going to William and Mary in the fall, and I will be studying government and environmental science. I'm going to Pitt Honors College, just like Graham, and I'm studying neuroscience there.
Congratulations and thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, congratulations to all of our recipients. That was wonderful. It was great to see everybody here, hear about your accomplishments. It's amazing that any of these students have really any time to sleep at night. They're just so busy each and every day. So we all appreciate that here. And as for our student representatives, I'll just echo exactly what Dr. Surloff indicated. Thank you very much for your service over the past year. And Emma, I was a William and Mary graduate, so I'm sure you'll enjoy your time there. Great campus. As is Mary.
This opportunity.
Thank you. And and we'd like to also welcome our new student representatives for next year as well. So at this time, we're going to proceed with, absolutely, yes.
We could do that at the beginning of that service. When we go to that.
Yeah.
But that's okay. But that's okay.
It's being, yeah, it was being teed up later, but why don't we do that now?
Okay, so Sage, this is your first meeting, so we'll let you, Hannah gave a brief introduction previously, but we'll let her say a little bit. But tonight, we'll introduce you for the first time. So you have to not only give us your name, but you have to also tell us what interested you about wanting to be a student rep to the board and why you pursued this role.
I'm Sage K-Pack, and I'm sorry. What interested me about the student rep position was I'm really involved in my school at high school, and I love just organizing events for the entire student body, and getting that connection with the school board itself was really important to me to be able to organize events like that. To therapy dog days.
And a brief introduction. Like, once again, to reintroduce yourself to the room.
Hannah Carter. Been here a few times before, so I'm just trying to feel of the board meeting, but I'm super excited to be the one of the new student reps for next year. So.
Thank you very much.
It's better than we had not.
Absolutely. So we have some routine business to attend to, and as well as our regular meeting and an additional presentation. Everybody here is more than welcome to stay, but if you would like to leave at this time, you're more than welcome to do so as well.
There are plenty of treats still outside. So
Yes,
please
help yourself.
Have treats on the way out, please.
have a wonderful summer. Thank you.
Bye, guys.
How fascinating, there were two seniors with A's and it happened. Have a great day. Must be very rough. Have a good night.
We don't have any pre-registered attendees that would like to have the floor open for visitor participation. However, if anybody here would like to address the board, please raise your hand. Not seeing anybody. I know that we have a couple of people here that would like to address the board here in just a moment, and you're almost next on the agenda. We're going to dispense with visitor participation this evening and move to the approval of minutes. So is there a motion that the board approve the minutes of the committee meetings of April 18th and the legislative meeting also of April 18th? So moved by Mr. Floro, seconded by Mrs. Dobler. Seconded by Mr. Barnes. And any questions or discussion on
I noticed that at the April agenda, or the April minutes, it said the meeting was called to order at 9:08 p.m. assumes that was a mistake. It was Thursday,
Well,
September,
no,
or did
it wasn't, because our workshop and our legislative meeting, I
Maybe just like
I had a
this.
second thought on that as well, but yeah, that was the
Thank you.
actual time that we completed our normal workshop business.
Thank you.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, so that motion carries. This evening, we don't have any old business, so we will move now to a report on the Sewickley Public Library, Quaker Valley School District, and I will open the floor to Mrs. Doble.
Thank you, Mr. Kuzma. I will keep it brief because we have a much more important presentation to get to. As you shared with the board last week, we have now announced our new executive director who will be taking over in mid-July, Mr. Finelli. We look forward to introducing someone to you at a future meeting. As we all have seen, the construction project is underway. There have been invites to the parking lots, but so far, generally speaking, everything is fully operational. There's been 2 changes to upcoming programs that we have been highlighting previously. There was a history event scheduled for June around November 50th that was been delayed to September, when the building will be readier for guests. And there was another event, the Children's Department is scheduling the biggest story time ever. I don't believe the date has been. One little update from the Friends, 2 little updates from the Friends, there's book sale coming up next weekend, so if I library for some books. And the Sabrine date has been set, Johnny, I know. October 15th, and it is a bye week for the Steelers, so.
It's the best.
That's right, and that concludes my report. Our annual report from the Sewickley Public.
It should be a video. Thank you. Director of Sewickley Public Library, and I am pleased to present our annual report to the Quaker Valley School District Board of Directors. The theme of our 2022 annual report is "There's More to the Story." It highlights all the ways we provide lifelong learning opportunities beyond books to connect with resources, learn a new skill, or enjoy an activity with a friend or neighbor. If you'd like to review this report in its entirety, you can find it on our website at sewickleylibrary.org. This year, we signed up 845 new patrons, served a total of more than 14,000 library card holders, and welcomed nearly 145,000 visitors, an average of 410 each day. This is a 30% increase from the previous year, a positive reassurance that we are returning to 2019 levels of in-person service. The centerpiece of library services is our ability to connect patrons with the resources they seek. In December, we went fine-free, removing barriers to library service by giving patrons access to items for longer periods of time without penalty. We also took the extra step of removing all existing fines on the account of Sewickley Public Library card patrons living in the Quaker Valley School District. We are connected to the 45 other libraries in Allegheny County through the Carnegie Library System, sending items to other libraries and routing items into our library each day. We circulated more than 351,000 items last year, approximately 20% of which are electronic resources. All of this access to books, movies, audiobooks, music, and magazines brought a $6.9 million value to the people of the Quaker Valley community. A public library remains one of the best places to find help from a knowledgeable person about problems you're trying to solve. The librarians at our reference desk answered nearly 13,000 questions in 2022. They also offer classes and tutoring sessions to help patrons master technology skills like Google Docs and photo editing, and have a lendable library of technology including laptops, streaming devices, Wi-Fi hotspots, and digital projectors. If you're looking to become more proficient in a particular piece of software, or need research or job assistance, They are ready and available to help you find the answers you seek. We enjoyed seeing more and more faces in the library this year as our programming attendance increased 42%, with more than 34,000 patrons participating in family fun nights, TikTok kitchens for teens, knitting groups, art lessons, and more. Our programs provide opportunity for hands-on learning and connections between community members that add to the vibrancy of the Quaker Valley. The library takes learning and literacy on the road and out into the community. Here you see our children's outreach librarian, Ms. Bridget Clark, with children at St. Stephen's, one of the 25 to 30 preschools and childcare centers that enjoy her visits each month. We also created 23 unique storywalks in 6 partner parks, teamed up with Quaker Valley teachers, delivered busloads of free books through the Book Stop program, presented our annual Battle of the Books for patrons, 4th grade into adults, and hosted a weekly scavenger hunt for patrons of all ages. All of the library programming and services just described take a great amount of funding for which we are very grateful, most especially to Quaker Valley School District, who provides 42% of our annual operating budget. The rest of our annual funding that you see in this chart is a combination of gifts from private donors, the Allegheny Regional Asset District, the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, a portion of the annual bequest from Raymond C. and Martha S. Buckland Fund of the Pittsburgh Foundation, and contributions from our friends of the library who fundraise on our behalf to supplement our collections budget and enhance our programming in addition to other special projects. The highlights of the Friends fundraising year was the return of their hallmark event, Savoring Sewickley, where they were happy to welcome 17 restaurants into the library to provide an evening of culinary delights and camaraderie for a full house of library supporters. The result of that event, plus book sales and their annual appeal, allowed the Friends to contribute more than $72,000 to the library's annual operating budget. Thank you, Friends. As the library celebrates its 150th anniversary this year, there's 2 upcoming events. The biggest story time ever at Quaker Valley Middle School Auditorium, and a history night at the library coming this fall. We also have a special anniversary campaign this year, providing opportunities to support the library with a commemorative gift. Thank you to all those who have donated to date. Your gift to the library is a gift to your friends and neighbors. Tonight's presentation is my last as I say goodbye to the Quaker Valley School Board and to the community as I retire my position as library director that I have so enjoyed for 25 years. I have appreciated my partnership with the school board and administration and with countless other donors and stakeholders that have supported the library's mission. Together, we completed a building expansion that tripled the library's size, connected it to the Allegheny County Library System and the EI network, and earned the designation of an American Star Library and Pennsylvania Gold Star status, bringing award-winning public library service to the people of the Quaker Valley. Thank you for making my tenure here a success and a pleasure. I leave the library in competent hands of the library board, staff, and the next director, who together with Quaker Valley School District and the community will continue to ensure that great stories start here.
Thank you. Are there any questions? We're very proud of what we do with the library. I have Michelle Cleary, our development associate, Joel Swanson, our president of the board. And it really takes a team. We're grateful to have Katie and Andrew and John on the board as well, representing Quaker Valley. I thank you. I send a special thanks to Charlie over there. He's my go-to guy. He really helps us with the Friends of the Library and some of our emergencies. Scott, and I just want to say thank you. You have made the 25 years possible and our growth, expansion, and our services. Couldn't have done it without Quaker Valley. Thank you. We're good at the library. The project is on schedule, the construction project is on schedule, the board has worked diligently to find a new director. Lots of good things happening in the library. I'm sitting next to Mr. Mooney, he's going to allow us to do some programming in the middle school. I forget what room it is, but it's right off the entry, and, we're grateful because we had to close our community room for the construction. And, we're looking forward to the fall, new air conditioning, windows, and roof tiles. They're starting, all the old tiles are off and the new tiles are starting to be delivered, so we're on target. And the new director will have something nice to work with and she can focus on services. So, thank you.
Thank you.
Questions? I just want to share with you, you were one of the first people that I had the opportunity to meet when I started my work here in Quaker Valley. I want to thank you for that smile that you always have. You might have received a gold star for another award, but you get one from us. And when I was a child, my dream job was to become a librarian. So I do think sometimes about, I'm a little jealous of the way she spent the last, few years over down the street. But thank you, and it was such a joy to celebrate you at your retirement dinner and to hear how people have cherished your work, have appreciated your work, and so you're going out on top. So enjoy every moment of retirement.
I love your smile too. Thank you. Thank you very much. It was a lovely retirement dinner. The library board did a spectacular job. Thank you, Michelle. It was wonderful. It is, this is just such a special community to work in, with the school district, with all of the patrons who come to the library, the faculty and staff here. It's been a dream job. It really is. I kept telling the board that when they were hiring that, there's no community like Sewickley Public Library. So, thank you very, very much.
And I can't let the moment go past without a fond farewell to our departing director. This is not the end of the story. All stories have an end. This is not it. This is a change of chapters. And not just for us at the library, but we hope your next chapters are the story as well.
Thanks.
So, thanks so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carolyn. I know that we at the district appreciate the efforts that you've made over the years to always include Quaker Valley students in programming at the library. I hear that we're now returning the favor so that you'll be able to have some space for programming in the middle school. So that's great. And before we move on, I just wanted to give a little bit of background about Ruth Neely. I'm just going to read a brief excerpt from the announcement that was on the Sewickley Public Library website announcing her hiring as the new executive director. And it's that Neely brings a wealth of experience and expertise to this position of executive director, as well as familiarity with the community that Sewickley Public Library serves. She's a Pittsburgh native and a graduate of the University of Pittsburgh, where she earned a bachelor's degree in sociology and political science, as well as a master's degree in library and information science. And since 2014, Neely has served as the director of libraries at Sewickley Academy. Neely has a proven track record of innovative leadership, successfully spearheading projects at the Academy, including a large-scale renovation of the library space. She's been involved with several local community-centered initiatives and partnerships with the Sewickley Public Library and the libraries of the Quaker Valley School District. Her deep understanding of evolving library trends and commitment to fostering inclusivity will undoubtedly continue to move Sewickley Public Library forward. So we're anxious to welcome Ruthie to the district once she is able to get onboarded and to get her feet under her at the library, staff, and things of that nature. So again, thank you very much for coming. Thanks for the presentation. And if you would like to stay for the rest of the meeting, you're more than welcome to do so. But Caroline, I know that you have quite a drive to get back up north. So if you'd like to leave now, you're more than welcome to do so.
Thank you. I think I'm.
Thank you all.
Thank you. Thank
Okay.
So that concludes our report from the library.
Good job.
So we'll move now to a report on the Parkway West Career and Technology Center. And Mrs. Hall-Johnson.
So just two great announcements. We had graduation on May 17th. There were 213 students that graduated. You typically would know how many are already employed or going further in their education, so we'll get the meeting in June. I was not able to attend, but they said it is really unique just to see publishing districts coming together and their own colors and everybody walking in together. I'm sorry to have missed it. And the other big exciting news is summer camp. They are over 1,000 students already. It's only a 2-day event. So they are trying to get creative in figuring out, maybe they're going to have to add another session or something, but they've never had this many students. So it's really exciting to work with.
Okay. And good luck to the students. So we'll stay with you though for a report from the Educational Services and Strategic Planning Committee.
So the Education Services and Strategic Planning Committee met on May 17th. We had some reports from Dr. Teal and Stavda. We began with information item that in June we will be approving the adoption of new textbooks and associated resources for chemistry, honors chemistry, professional communication for college and career. And the reason why we will be voting in June is that they are available for 30 days for anyone that is interested in yes, to look at, yes. So we'll be voting on that in June. And then our action items, I'm just going to read them, and if anybody would like to comment afterwards, please. So our first action item is requested that the board approve the adoption of new textbooks for AP Chemistry, AP Language and Composition, CHS Spanish, CHS Spanish 5, and CHS Mass Communications. B, it's requested that the board approve the annual disposal donation of obsolete and unusable library materials from the high school and middle school library collections. C, it's requested that the board approve changes to the 23-24 Quaker Valley Middle School Program Studies as presented. If that, you recall, that was when Mr. Portosino presented, or Dr. Chill presented, but he added to it. And D, it is requested that the board approve the renewal application for flexible instructional days. E, it is requested the board approve the Allegheny Intermediate Unit Comprehensive Services Agreement 2023-2024 in Addendum A, Special Education Services, which outlines the terms for services available to Quaker Valley School District as listed in the 23-24 AIU Services Guide and AIU Special Education Pricing Guide. And F, it's requested the board approve a 1-year pilot of Learning Ally, an audiobook solution designed for students with visual impairments or physical disabilities that prevents reading standard print for a cost of $8,712.80. So those are the action items 8 through F.
Okay.
Mine says G. F is the AIU, and G is the ally.
Yeah, I have B through G.
F is AIU, it's on the very bottom of the page. It's right here. You
Oh, so what, we're not really, are we moving that adoption of new textbooks since we're doing that next month?
There's two different different.
Different texts.
Yeah, so the one that you read, is being moved from this.
They already had a 30-day inspection.
Yeah, that was
so this is
last.
the second group. I have on the screen items A through F. Is that correct?
Okay, so why is
I have B through G.
I have G.
Yeah.
This happened at the work session, so.
I wonder if you may be looking, yes, if you have A through F, you may be looking at last week's committee meeting agenda, where they were listed. What?
So
It's all the same items, but it's B through G.
What's on the screen is B through G. But I mean, I'm up there.
Okay, does everybody understand what has been moved at this
It's
point?
letters, instead of A through F, it's B through G.
Okay. So moved by Mrs. Halkowski. Is there a second? Seconded by Mr. Floro. Okay, any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, so those motions carry.
I'm sorry.
We have to go back.
I had notes from last week and that's why.
It's confusing because it was at the bottom.
We have to go back to the tech update and do it.
So tonight I will be sharing our annual technology update. And as I was listening to the students that were receiving the Citizenship Award, I'm really going to continue the theme of celebrating students in my update presentation tonight. Myself, Mr. Moore, Mr. Calvera, we interviewed some students. We asked some volunteers to talk about how they use technology as part of their daily lives at Quaker Valley, whether in elementary school, middle school, or high school. And we had some volunteers who wanted to share their thoughts with us. So I'm going to start the presentation, and it's kind of a picture-in-picture, like you're watching TV with that picture-in-picture feature. Oh, you're seeing a student talking, but then there's going to be a little window in the lower corner that actually shows you what's happening on the screen. So there's a little technology in our technology presentation.
Good evening, everyone. This is Karen Dodja, Quaker Valley's Director of Innovation and Strategic Initiatives. This evening, I will be sharing with you our annual technology update. As I was preparing for this evening, I came across this quote. Embracing technology to make learning more engaging is something that we do each and every day at Quaker Valley. Our students and teachers have made great strides over the last couple years as they use these tools to enhance their learning and make learning more meaningful and relevant. Tonight, in our presentation, we will hear from 6 students. These students will share with you some of their favorite apps and online resources and how they use these tools for learning each and every day in their classroom. So without any further delay, let's start the presentation.
Hi, I'm Sarah Shanner, the academic specialist at Edgeworth Elementary. I'm working with Jack Turing and some other 4th grade students on an Edgeworth journey around the world. We started this year at Kennywood, and we've been tracking our mileage using pedometers to move to different places around the world. So over the course of the year, we've stopped at about 10 different locations, and these 4th graders have picked the locations and let their other peers vote on where we're going. So Jeff is going to explain more about how that process works.
I'm Jack, and I'm 4th grade at Edgeworth Elementary. So we use pedometers to keep track of our steps, and I'm guessing they convert those steps to miles. Mr. May tells me, Ms. tells me, or Ms. Turner, how many miles we have. Miller tells us where we can find different locations to go, and we put those in our form. In Google Earth, we have Japan, and you can use this measurement thing. So we just add the point, and then we go here, and then it tells you what the distance is. And then we go around Tokyo and find places that are around 6,400 miles. Maybe United Kingdom or something, like Spain. Here's the computer course. We have the Edgeworth journey, and then we have choose our next stop. Edgeworth's journey around the world. We give the locations and facts about the locations. Links to the forms. And this is the form we use. So we put the places that we found here. These are all the choices, and people get Tokyo. a classroom can be done with choices. And we have the responses here. And at the bottom we have like a pie chart that tells us how much percentage did each place get, and Tokyo got the most. We just learned about it's junior level. I'm a big creator of Osborne Elementary. Today, I'm going to tell you about how we can use Nearpod in our classes every day. So first, you would go into Schoology, and once you get into Schoology and it loads, you would go into the class that you're in currently. And so for me, it would be Science and Health. So I would click on it, and then I would go into the student paste Nearpod, which is in the materials section. And I would click on that, and then once you go up to the welcome to your lesson page, you would hit join lesson, and then you're in. If it's a student based Nearpod, you would just click through the slides yourself. And if it wasn't a student based Nearpod, the teacher would do it for you. So once you get to the drawing slide, you would hit either a pencil or a highlighter, whichever you need to use. And if you tap it, you can use the colors, and you can change the size. And so for this question, it says, in the second Spanish, draw air particles to show what happens when you push the plunger down. The tube is closed off so no air can escape. So I'm going to change the color to a lighter blue. Change the size so it's near the size of the other particles, because that's the typical size they should be. And then there should be, I think, 9 particles, and they should just be closer together. So I'm going to draw those. We hit submit. Student based Nearpod, after you hit submit, it just takes you to your next slide. And then once you get to the time to comment page, you can unpick your avatar, and then you will answer the questions with the timer. This question is when there's a level of high humidity, that means there's a lot of what in the air. Playing this game is more fun, it's more interactive, and it makes learning the lesson easier and more fun. And I think it's easier for teachers because they don't have to have all these random pieces of paper just flying. I'm a QBMS student. I'm going to be sharing ClassLink and Tinkerpad. Okay, so ClassLink, you would first sign in here, and I'm just going to sign in with mine. And there are a bunch of different apps, such as Excel and Orbit, Gizmos, etc. So first we're going to do Gizmos. See, I have the system, and you have all these different things that your teacher can assign. Excel is for math and ELA sometimes. And you have Neverink, which is an ELA software. Tinkercad is different, right? You can sign up. You can do 3D design, circuits, and code. And I'll show the 3D design. Right, so you see here, it's just like a 3D platform where you can code the blocks here. And you can, it's just like a software where you can build things. The iPad has significantly helped me because partially is that I got used to electronics over the pandemic. And I've become really good with all the settings and stuff on it. My name is Joelle Muratish. I am in 8th grade. I am a Quaker Valley Middle School student. Today I'm going to share with you how I use Google Docs. So Google Docs is one of my favorite apps to use on the iPad. I use it daily in some of my classes such as history, English language arts, and so much more. It is also a great way to communicate with your friends. How do you find your friends to a doc, you might ask? You click on the 3 dots on the right side and you click share and export. You can click share and then you can add your friends or your teachers to the document. I also love this app because it is much easier than handwriting out all these essays. For example, as you can see on this essay, I have many different fonts and many different highlights to help my teacher navigate through this essay. As you can see, this sentence is green. That lets my teacher know that it is a topic sentence. And she commented down here many different things that way I can help my essay to make it perfect. The iPad has helped me learn as a student because it helps me communicate with my teachers and friends whenever I need to. And it also is much easier than writing.
My name is Adam Velocity. I'm a senior here at Quaker Valley High School.
Today I'm going to talk to you about how to use Notability. Notability is probably the app that I use the most on my iPad. In Schoology, teachers will add documents that they want students to use instead of using paper. And it just makes it easier to not have to like pass things out. It's all in one spot. Like on. So in Notability, you can bring over documents from Schoology, or you can just type them up if you want to take those. You can have different sections in the app that make it really easy to organize stuff. Classes, make your documents in class that are easy to find. If I go into a file, for example, grade 12, I have mine open as my class. So I'm going to grade 12. The text box, you can draw text box, which I really like. And sometimes you'll have to like adjust the font size, or then you can pick colors too, to make your notes. I use this for a lot, just like the drawing tool. As you can see here, you can add stickers if you want. So if you can make a bunch of graphs for your homework, you could just make like a sticker of it and then just paste them so you don't have to draw the same. Moving on to slides app. This is my favorite way to use it. So many slides. So we can go to this is more slides. Slides is really easy to present information. You can make a new project and then add as many slides as you want to. So, you can add a title slide, information page, or just like one document. Sure. So you share it. So if you're working with multiple people, you can share it. Plus is when you want to add an image, a shape, a line, a data table. We make a lot of things. Comment if you want to go back and change it. Always look through the themes. I don't know what bio theme or history theme or whatever. Once you have a slide, you can just type right on it, change the font. Really kind of personalize it to whatever. Really it's an Apple product, so I'm very and I have like everything there. Like if it was a computer, I would be wrong in it. It just makes it really easy instead of carrying a bunch of like folders and teachers will add like their textbooks to Schoology and I'll just import them there instead of carrying around and use the side hand.
My name is Jackson. I'm a student here at QEHS. Today I'm going to talk to you about using Schoology and PowerSchool. So for Schoology, it's mainly accessing class materials. So if I go into my statistics here, you go to this week, they usually have weekly folders, and then you go in like into the daily folder, and they have the notes or the homework posted, and you download that on the Notability, which I know another student covered. Another reason why Schoology is nice is there's a calendar feature. So if you're ever absent for a day of school, you can go into the calendar. Each teacher will post kind of what happened in class, and you can get caught up. So the other that I'm talking about is PowerSchool, and this is where the grades obviously go in. And so you can just see here each class has its own one little folder, and you can go in and see what you got on each assignment. And if there's any missing assignments, they'll go in as zeros, and they usually drive your grade. So if you keep up with the PowerSchool, you can stay on top of your grades. Personally, I actually enjoy the iPads more than the computer because I don't really like taking paper and pencil notes, and that's mainly just because it's hard to keep all your notes organized. And on Notability, you can just handwrite it just like you would on a piece of paper, but obviously digitally, and then you can just keep it in a folder there. So it's more convenient to go back and access the notes and find what you need, and it just helps a lot with my organization.
I hope that you enjoyed our presentation this evening and hearing from our students. This is just a small portion of the wonderful things that are happening in our classroom. A special thanks to our two technology coaches, Sandra Calgiero and Kieran Moore, for their assistance with putting this presentation together.
Thank you,
Mrs.
Karen.
Bowles.
It's been a great kid night.
It has been a great kid night. I didn't know that when I went out and started talking with kids, but it has been a good celebration of our students.
Any questions for Karen? Or Karen, anything you'd like to close up with?
No, just more to come. Can't wait for next year in May when I share what has happened over the last year.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you very much. So we will move to a
Mr.
report.
Guzman, did
Yes.
we have a vote on the motion?
I'm sorry.
Did we have a vote on the motion?
No.
Wait a second.
We had a second. I thought we did have a vote, but all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? So those motions carry.
Who was the second?
The second, moved by Mrs. Halkowski, seconded by Mr. Barnes. Okay. So we'll move now to a report from the Health and Safety Government Affairs Committee and over to Mr. Barnes.
Since we're on the Health and Safety and Government Affairs Committee, that one week here tonight and had legislative.
Very short report. Thank you. Now a report from the Policy Committee and Mrs. Soderstrom.
Mr. Kuzma, the policy committee last met on May 17th. And tonight we have just one action item, the board adopted policy 201, admission of students.
Okay, so we did thoroughly discuss that in the first and the second read. So moved by Mrs. Soderstrom, seconded by Mrs. Halkowski. Any further discussion on that item? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, that motion carries. Okay, we'll now go to a report from the Facilities and Operations Committee and Mr. Flora.
Mr. Prismo. We met last Tuesday night. Discussed two items of business. The first being high school project design development. First action item is that the board approve the design development plans prepared by the SHM Architects and Melosowitz and Jackson. Approval is required for the architects to begin the construction on.
Moved by Mr. Flores, seconded by Mrs. Felder.
Our second item for this is going to be our high school stadium press box renovation. Mrs. Kowski was very interested in that because for obvious reasons, one of our announcers is from the Kowski family. Did a great job this year announcing Emma and Company. We're happy to see this year at just one time. Would move the board approval proposal for Clark Contractors Inc. to renovate the stadium press box at a cost of $18,722.88 for the Keystone Purchasing Network contract to be taken from the county.
Okay, moved by Mr. Floro, seconded by Mr. Barnes. And John, would you like to move the remaining action items together?
Yeah. Almost as a consent agenda. Items C and D are the Swiftly YMCA after-school program release. They're two separate items, but these are what we call routine items. The third, disposal of obsolete technology, so I'm going to move items C and D together.
C, D, and E?
C, D, and E. Oh, sorry about that. Did you get that?
Yes.
So all items moved by Mr. Floro and seconded by Mr. Barnes. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, so those motions carry. And in the absence of Mr. Waters, I will turn to Mr. Barnes for a report out from the Finance Committee.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Goodwin. Most of that work was done last Wednesday. It was Wednesday when Ms. Waters and Mr. Antoine took us through a detailed overview of the financial action items being moved tonight in addition to the budget. I'm gonna go ahead and A through I as a sort of, what did you call this?
Consent agenda. And I'll second your motion.
Do I now need to read those?
Okay, moved by Mr. Baldwin, seconded by Mr. Flora. What I would say is that if any board member is unsure of what we would be voting on, we can discuss the action items individually, but if everybody understands, I will call for a vote.
Just survive.
Now, in case everybody each sheet on it there.
So all those in favor of action items A through I? Aye. Opposed? Okay, those motions carry.
Well, thank you. And then we're gonna go on to N and J, and that's the final budget for 2023-2024. That recommended action is that the board adopt the 2023 and 2024 final general budgets in the amount of $58,254,014.00 and approve resolution number 2023-3 to levy/reenact the supporting tax basis. The real estate tax levy would be 20.6277 mils, a 0.5910 increase in millage, and would allocate $5,000 to support the Swiftly Public Library and Quaker Valley School District.
Second.
Okay, moved by Mr. Barnes, seconded by Mr. Floro. Any discussion? Okay,
If I can please share with the community that that presentation will be available on the website, so that the finance page.
And I just want to mention that I would like to thank Dr. Draco and company, including Mr. Antoline, for sharpening the pencils on this. And I know Jeff's not here tonight, but I know Jeff spends a great deal of time, drags Jeff and I into doing. It's a lot of work that went in this all together, so thank you.
Finance team.
Yeah, and I just had one piece there that I know there's a lot of digits and the millage numbers being read out there, but what this nets out to is 2.9% increase out of 4.1 that the Act 1 index allows. That's 29% below the Act 1 index, and I think that savings is representative of very much hard work.
a lot of hard work in a challenging environment. Okay, so all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, that motion carries.
Great, thank you. And finally, we're going to do election K, which I'd like to do in Mr. Waters' absence. The recommended action there is that the board will reappoint Jeffrey Waters as treasurer to the Quaker Valley School Board of Directors effective July 1st.
Okay, moved by Mr. Barnes, seconded by Mrs. Dobler.
And just for the benefit of our student representatives, this is what happens when we don't.
Anytime you don't show up, you get assigned more work. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, thank you, Mr. Waters, for agreeing to serve another year as treasurer.
Thank you. It's first time everybody ever got it.
Okay, thank you. So we'll move now to a report from the Personnel Committee and Mrs. Dobler.
Personnel committee also met last Wednesday in executive session, and tonight you have 5 items to move. Action item A is resignations, of which we have 1, a KPEA position at Osborne. Action item B is retirements, of which we also have 1, Dr. Dolphine from Osborne Elementary, although a longtime member of QBHS staff. She will begin her next life as a retired teacher at the end of June. She's been with us a long time, and we thank her for her service and all she's done for the kids. Action item C, appointments, of which we have 4, 2 cafeteria workers, 1 short-term sub in the social studies department at the high school, and a full-time nurse, Ms. Carter, will be joining the middle school staff, taking the place of Barb 2, who's also retired. And action item D is that the board approve the employment agreement between Quaker Valley School District and Lauren Lynn, a short-term substitute athletic trainer, effective May 1, 2023, and ending on or about June 5, 2023 at the rate of $40. And action item E, we have 3 individuals who have earned their tenure. While tenure is guaranteed, right, that is part of the school code. We always do a ceremonial vote so that we can recognize these individuals for the contributions that they've given to our school community. So our three individuals who've earned tenure this year are Brandon Hatley, John Nemeth, and Shannon Small. So with that, I would like to move action items A and E.
Okay, moved by Mrs. Vogler, seconded by Mr. Barnes. Any discussion? Okay, all those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay, those motions carry. Okay, is there a motion? Okay, thank you. So Mr. Flores is moving.
What's
that
the gobs?
The board approved the committee meeting minutes of May 17th to be made a part of the minutes of this meeting. Seconded by Mr. Barnes. All those in favor? Aye. And opposed? Okay. I would just like to read out for those in attendance that Tuesday, June 13th will be a combined committee and legislative meeting of the Quaker Valley School Board. At this time, I will open the floor to any visitor participation. If you'd like to address the board, please raise your hand.
Like, one time you gotta tell us. How the kids.
You guys are doing a great job.
For the record.
Yeah.
You can print that. Okay, so seeing nobody that would like to address the board, we will move to adjournment. Is there a motion to adjourn the meeting? Moved. Yeah, moved by Mr. Barnes, seconded by Mrs. Hegler. I didn't get the order. It was a photo finish anyway. And just before we call for the vote, I'll just note that the board will be meeting in executive session following the adjournment. So, and opposed. Okay. Thank you very much. Meeting adjourned.